Hello, welcome back to Rock Solid Sports. We are here for our Week 2 preview. I'm Sierra Galanza, and I am here with Sam Forman and Tanner Carson. So, gentlemen, coming up, we have Battle of Bristol between University of Tennessee and Virginia Tech. Let's start with keys to the game. What do we expect from Tennessee?
All right, well, for me, I think there's really two keys here for Tennessee. Offensively, it's Jalen Hurd. He struggled last week against App State, in part due to the strategy App State had against him. They committed multiple people to stopping Jalen Hurd. If Virginia Tech does the same thing, he's got to find a way to be a little bit more productive. And if they choose to not go after him double team, he's got to break the big plays. Defensively for Tennessee, it comes down to the front four. They have another opportunity to really rattle a quarterback. If they can get to him, the key is can they get to him more successfully than they got to the Appalachian State quarterback last week.
Well, to Sam's point on offense, Jalen Hurd is definitely a key. And a way to free up more space for Jalen Hurd, I think, would be to get Alvin Kamara a lot more touches. Only had 9 touches against Appalachian State. I think if Tennessee can get him at least 15 touches, whether it be through running or getting the ball in the receiving game, I think you can expect the offense to open up a lot more. Bud Foster's known for making opposing offenses a lot more one-dimensional. So open up the offense a lot more. You should have a better time than you did against Appalachian State. Defensively, I think you have to contain Isaiah Ford, Virginia Tech's #1 receiver, statistically the best receiver in Virginia Tech history. He's going to be a favorite target of new Virginia Tech quarterback Gerard Evans. Targeted him 17 times against their game against Liberty, had 11 catches. So he is going to be the focal point of that Virginia Tech offense. I think if Tennessee can limit Isaiah Ford's receptions, then that should kind of change the game plan for Virginia Tech. Has to get their ball to their other receivers, and it takes away from their main game plan and Isaiah Ford.
Great, thank you. Okay, that's on Tennessee. What about Virginia Tech?
Well, for me, offensively, for Virginia Tech, it starts right where Tanner left off with the quarterback, Gerard Evans. I think Cam Sutton's going to spend the majority of the game on Ford, which means his #1 target is going to be gone. Does Evans try to force it? How good is he at going through his progression and finding his backups? And also, if Tennessee is more successful bringing pressure, he's been rattled at times. He's not the most mobile guy, but he can run. How does he use his legs, and does he make the smart choice, or does he panic? Defensively, for Virginia Tech, it's all about the linebackers. Like I said with Jalen Hurd, are they going to pull a page out of App State's playbook and commit multiple linebackers to him, whether he has the ball or not? Because if so, you've got to, if you're by yourself, you've got to cover the receiver one-on-one. You can't have any missed assignments. Number 2, if you're going after Jalen Hurd one-on-one, you've got to be able to make the one-on-one individual tackle against Jalen Hurd.
And I think Virginia Tech's key on offense is, going back to my point about Isaiah Ford, if Isaiah Ford is limited a lot more, the #2 target for Gerard Evans is going to be Bucky Hodges, the converted tight end. He is a big target at 6'7". Now, he wasn't targeted that much against Liberty. He did not have any real targets until the second half. Only had 3 receptions, but 2 of them were for touchdowns. He is a gigantic target in that red zone. So I think if Tennessee can be successful in limiting Isaiah Ford, they need to watch out for Bucky Hodges, because he is going to be a huge target that Tennessee needs to take account for. Now, for Virginia Tech's defense, I think it all begins with the front 7, because Tennessee's offensive line struggled mightily against Appalachian State. I think if they can limit Tennessee's passing game, make Josh Dobbs uncomfortable in the pocket, make him escape the pocket, make sure he doesn't have one of the mobile runs he's known for, make sure Virginia Tech does not get killed in the running game by Josh Dobbs. They can keep him, uncomfortable throughout the entire game, have the same amount of success Appalachian State did on their defensive line. I think Virginia Tech has a good shot keeping this close and actually maybe winning the game if they can do that.
Awesome. Okay, if it was okay with you, I would like to move on to this week's prediction. So first matchup, Oregon and Virginia. What do you think?
Virginia got absolutely manhandled last week by Richmond. Oregon's going to cruise through this one. Oregon is going to win 56-14. Go Ducks.
And Sam's prediction is not far off from mine. You got to take into account that the Bronco Mendenhall era at Virginia did not start off good. You lose to FCS Richmond by 17. That's never a good start. Oregon looked great against UC Davis. I think they had one of the most underrated running backs in the country, Royce Freeman. So give me Oregon 52-17 in that one.
Okay, awesome. Next matchup, Iowa State.
All right, simply enough put, IOWA, go Hawkeyes, 45-21.
I'm going to go Iowa 35-7. Neither of these teams looked very good in week one, but Iowa State looked much worse, losing at home to FCS Northern Iowa. Iowa has a great team. It all begins with their defense and their secondary led by Desmond King. So I think Iowa State isn't going to have a successful day whatsoever in the passing game, and in turn their whole offense is going to struggle.
All right, how about Arkansas and TCU?
You know, TCU, they struggled mightily last week against Division I South Dakota State. Jackrabbits had a great game. They almost beat TCU. If it weren't for the heat and weren't for just being outmanned, TCU would be 0-1 right now. I do not like their chances against the Hogs, who will not wear down and will have the depth to compete with them. Arkansas is going to win this game 35-28.
I'm going complete opposite of Sam. I got two words: Kenny Trill. Now, even though he does not have that name trademark anymore like he did at Texas A&M, he did have a great debut against South Dakota State. For as bad as TCU's defense looked, their offense looked a lot better. Kenny Hill attributed for almost 500 yards of total offense himself. I think, and Arkansas struggled mightily against Louisiana Tech. They really should have lost to Louisiana Tech. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I've got TCU winning 31-24 just because I think overall Gary Patterson's not known for bad defenses at TCU. I think they're going to improve a lot against Arkansas. Like I said, 31-24 is going to be my prediction. It's going to be a little closer where TCU is going to improve much more than they did last week.
Thank you. How about Florida and Kentucky?
Kentucky coming off a heartbreak of a loss last week to Southern Miss. Florida looked like absolute junk against one of the worst teams in the country in UMass. I don't know about this game. It could go either way. It could have scoring out of nowhere. It could have absolutely low scoring. Kentucky's made this close the last couple years. I'm still going to go with Florida because they're the more superior team, and the game's in the swamp. The heat could affect the Cats. Kentucky 28-17. I'm sorry, Florida 28-17.
I'm going with Sam. Florida is going to pay off the mortgage in this streak. It's going to be 30 in a row against Kentucky, mainly because it's a good thing Mark Stoops went ahead and showed that this is definitely not going to be the year again for Kentucky, blowing a 25-point lead to Southern Miss. He's usually known for his strong starts to the season, not so much this year. Another key player for Florida is coming back from suspension. The best cornerback in the country, Jalen Tabor, is coming back. It's going to make it an absolute nightmare for Drew Morgan to have any success in the passing game. Give me Florida 34-17, 30 years in a row.
Okay, gentlemen, now to our high school game of the week, a really big rivalry. We have Maryville and Alcoa. Any predictions?
It's always exciting when these two get together. Almost guaranteed you're going to see two state champions square off against each other on a yearly basis. I don't know how to feel about this game. I do want to say congratulations to my friend Ross, who got the job, band director at Alcoa. Kind of makes me want to go Tornadoes, but I got to go common sense. Maryville 56, Alcoa 49.
And I'm going to stick with common sense in the Maryville-Alcoa rivalry. Maryville's won 5 in a row in this rivalry. Alcoa always gives them a tough challenge, one of the toughest games Maryville plays every year. It's a given. But George Quarles is the best coach in Tennessee high school football for a reason. I got to go Maryville 45-14 over the Tornadoes.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, Battle of Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia Tech. What's your prediction?
You know, all summer long and through fall camp, I've said this is going to be close. It's going to be a closer game than people expect. People are underestimating Virginia Tech, especially on a defensive end. But that was before I saw what happened in Neyland Stadium right behind us on Thursday night. I think Tennessee's going to be much more focused. I think they're going to be a little bit ticked off and ready to prove people wrong. I think they feel definitely disrespected about dropping 17th in the country in the latest AP poll. Tennessee 42, Hokies 21, and the Vols do the hokey pokey.
I don't know how to follow that, but I'm going to try, Sam. 21-17 Tennessee is my prediction. I got a little bit closer just for the fact that this is still a game of unknowns because both teams have not looked that good against what should have been inferior competition. Now, who knows how good of a team Appalachian State really is going to be? That's going to remain to be seen. The CBS College Football Poll has them ranked 11 spots ahead of Virginia Tech, actually. But you know, Virginia Tech has a lot of good pieces, like we talked about, especially on offense. And, you know, like I said, it's a game of unknowns. Gerard Evans, we still do not know a lot about him. Is he going to be as successful as he was in JUCO? I think Tennessee is going to open up the offense a lot more. I think they are going to get Alvin Kamara involved more. But still, it's going to be a little bit more predictable offense that we've seen under Mike DeBoer. And Bud Foster is an experienced defensive coordinator. He's going to take advantage of that. He's not new to the game by any means. He's going to expose the weaknesses in Tennessee's offense for it being one-dimensional, but I still think Tennessee pulls out in the fourth quarter.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Well, there you have it. That was our Week 2 preview at Rock Solid Sports. As always, I'm here with Sam Forman and Tanner Carson. I'm Sierra Galanza. Thanks for watching.